everyone, and welcome. So, is your baby getting ready for their next big adventure? Looking around, wanting to see more of the world? Well, today we are going to unlock a pediatrician's super simple, four-step guide to help your little one master one of their first huge milestones, sitting up. If you found yourself asking this exact question, trust me, you are in very good company. Helping your baby learn to sit up, it's so much more than just checking a box on a developmental chart. It's literally opening up a whole new view of the world for them. And you know what the best part is? You can play a massive role in building the strength they need, and it all starts with just a few simple steps. So what's the game plan? First, we'll talk about the basics, and then we'll dive right into 4 key tips. We're talking strengthening exercises, a vital supplement, the right kinds of food, and, believe it or not, a little help from the sun. Then we'll wrap it all up with a clear, practical summary so you know exactly what to do. Ready? Let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Before we jump into the tips you can actually do, let's talk about the why. Why is building this strength so important in the first place? Because understanding the mechanics behind sitting up is going to make the next 4 tips feel so much more powerful and effective. It's the difference between just following a list and really getting how you're helping your baby build their body for a lifetime. You see, a baby's ability to sit up isn't some kind of magic trick. It's pure mechanics. It all boils down to building up strength in those super important muscles in the neck and the back. I want you to think of it like building the frame of a house. That frame has to be strong and stable before you can do anything else, right? Well, that's exactly what we're aiming for here. All right, let's get right into our first tip. It's time to get a little physical. And don't worry, these are really simple, gentle exercises you can do right at home, and they are going to make a world of difference. Now, the timing here is pretty important. The pediatrician suggests starting these exercises right after your baby has finished their 4th month. And the most important word on this slide, daily. Seriously, consistency is everything. That's what builds up that muscle memory and strength over time. So what are these little exercises actually accomplishing? Well, they're specifically targeting those foundational neck and back muscles we were just talking about. Every single little session helps your baby gain the control and the power they need to hold themselves upright and eventually set up all on their own. Okay, so exercise is one huge piece of the puzzle. Now let's talk about a crucial building block that supports all of that hard work. A key vitamin for their bone and muscle development. See, without it, the body can't really absorb calcium properly. And calcium is the very thing that makes bones strong and ready for action. This number right here, this is a huge takeaway from the pediatrician. The recommendation is for consistent daily vitamin D supplements for the first 2 years of your child's life. It's definitely a long-term commitment, but it provides such a vital foundation for their growth. And the doctor's advice on this is crystal clear. These daily drops are absolutely non-negotiable. It is so important to continue them every single day. No interruptions, even if your baby is feeling a bit under the weather or taking other medicine. It's really that essential. Now, this is really interesting because this slide gives us the how. To get the absolute most benefit, you'll want to give the vitamin D drops after a feeding, especially one that has some fat in it, because that really helps with absorption. And it's best to give it during the day, not on an empty stomach first thing or right before they go down for the night. All right, moving on to tip number 3, nutrition. Just like you can't build a strong house without the right materials, a growing baby needs the right fuel. So let's take a look at what foods pack the biggest punch for development. This slide lays out a super simple timeline to follow. At around 4 months, you can start with some egg yolk. Then, a couple of months later, around that 6-month mark, you can start bringing in things like full-fat yogurt, low-salt cheese, and some healthy fatty fish. See? It's a nice, gradual progression. Okay, let's zoom in on the details because how you prepare these foods actually matters. For the egg yolk, boiling it and mashing it up with a tiny bit of cumin can help with digestion. With cheese, you really want to go for low-salt options to protect your baby's developing kidneys. And when you get to fish, fatty types, like salmon, are just loaded with those amazing omega-3s, which are fantastic for brain development. And now for our 4th and final tip, which comes straight from nature itself. We're talking about the sun, a powerful, totally natural way to support your baby's development. But this one comes with a really important instruction. It is all about safety.
The science behind this is actually pretty simple but so powerful. When sunlight hits the skin, it helps activate the vitamin D that's already in the body, which makes it way more effective. You can think of it like a natural booster shot for the vitamin D drops you're already giving them.
So this slide lays out the simple steps to do this safely. You're going to aim for a 30-minute session, either after 10 in the morning or about an hour before sunset, basically when the sun isn't at its absolute strongest. All you need to do is expose their little arms and legs, but, and this is a critical point from the doctor, only do this if the weather is warm and comfortable for your baby. Safety always comes first. So what have we learned? Let's do a quick recap of the 4 key takeaways to put together your simple action plan.
And here it is, all on one slide, your 4-point action plan. Consistent daily exercises, those absolutely essential vitamin D drops, a diet packed with nutrients, and finally, some safe sun exposure whenever you can. That's the formula. And I really want to leave you with this incredibly reassuring message from the pediatrician. If getting safe sun exposure is tricky for you because of your climate or where you live, please do not stress about it. The doctor is confident that by just focusing on the first 3 tips, the exercises, the vitamin D, and the right foods, you are giving your baby the powerful foundation they need to thrive. And that brings us to the end. The real power of this advice is just how simple it is. You don't have to do everything all at once. Just think about one small thing you can start doing today. Is it setting up a little daily exercise routine? Or maybe planning a grocery list with some of these new foods? Whatever it is, every single small step helps build that strong foundation for your baby's amazing journey ahead.